Hello everybody and welcome back to some Naruto Ultimate Ninja. Now I've been asked to help someone find out the best way to get resources. So today I'm going to try and show you, the way I get resources at least. So see if that will help you guys out so that way when you guys need anything, you guys know what to do. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, of course, the main three resources. Well, two, I guess you could say. So the first one's Ryo. Obviously, Ryo is a big part of the game, and you need Ryo to do a lot of things. Level up your characters, advance, all that stuff, bring up their skill and everything. There's not really an easy way to get Ryo. Everything you do kind of gives you Ryo, so it's not that big of a deal. But if you are finding a hard time getting Ryo when you need Ryo, the best things you can do are, events. Events usually give you the best way to get Ryos. Over like here, sometime consumptions will give you Ryo for spending so much. See, 500k, 500k, 500k. Weapon draw gifts, stuff like this will give you Ryo. Mainly there's some big events that usually give Ryo, and they give like 2 million Ryo, which is like an absurd amount. It's like 200 million or something like that, and some of them give some absurd numbers. So I mean, if you want to, you could always wait till an event comes and then just save up the Ryo, which is what I'm doing. I just got an event that was just for the the Fate Divining, and I got like 26th place, but it still gave me like a crap ton of Ryo. So if you're ever finding a picture of Ryo, like I said, you can always go to the events and they'll usually give you Ryo. Now, gold, I wish I could tell you an easy way to get gold, guys, but there's not really an easy way to get gold. Gold is just it's very rare, obviously, and the game needs to make money somehow. So when going around gold, the best thing I can tell you is that if you're using money to get in the game, at least use it when it's a recharge rebate. So at least when the recharge rebate is there, you can get more bang for your buck. You can get $100 and then get 6,000 or 7,000 that it gives you, plus the 10k that it actually gives you for the recharge rebate. Like, again, it's still going to be a steep one because obviously you have to spend money to get gold, and gold is a big part of the game, allowing you to get, extra stuff and allowing you to get the potential 17s that you actually need. But there's not really an easy way around getting gold. The best thing I could say is, if you're spending a little bit of money on the game, always go and get the recharge. I don't know what it's called. It's usually so you can get this every day. It gives you a certain amount every day at 200, I guess, max, and if you save that up, eventually you'll get enough so that way it's not that bad. See, right there, I just got 200, and if you obviously keep saving up gold and all the gold you're getting from this, from doing the seal, the 9 tails, all this stuff that you're doing will eventually accumulate over time, and you'll get the gold that you need. So, there's one way of getting all the gold. My friend actually spends no money in the game and actually has somewhere around 20k gold, so he doesn't use it, which is smart, so that way, you guys can get lucky like that. Another resource that people are having a hard time getting is level ups. EXP, in general. And right here, the stamina is usually how you get that. Now, there's no way around it, but what I usually do, you guys already see me do it, I would purchase this until about, like 8 or 9, right here. And I don't want to spend 400 to get recharge, so you can always do it till there. That's what I do because I have a steady influx of the income of gold coming in, and I have a job obviously to pay for it. So that's what I would always do every day, charge up till then, and then you'll usually have around this many. Always remember to go here to get the ramen takeaway. Remember that if you're here in between the time, they're free. And if they're not, you're going to have to pay 20 gold to get the thing. I pay it either way because, obviously you want to have as much stamina as possible. So that's the best way to level up. is just remember to always get your stamina as high as you want or as high as you can, and then just use it all. Another resource that people are having trouble getting is the enhanced, well, I guess they're called shards or whatever. These things right here. Now, the best thing I can tell you is the way around this is more of like depending on what you need at the time. Now, remember that these the boxes, the Tomu boxes, which I'm going to show you right now, take it from right here. These take from your highest level. So if your highest level of your character is a +3 orange, it's going to give you +3 oranges because your character's up there, and then your level is going to amount to that. So you'll basically be getting the same amount all the time. So if I was to open this right now, right, since I'm a level 91 and my characters are all, like 6 of my characters are at orange +3, it's going to give me the third thing because I'm at orange +3. Which means that all those boxes that I'm saving up, you should only really use them when you have to. Since all my characters are going to be hitting 93 around the same level, these right here that I have are going to go fast. They're going to go really fast, and I'm going to need to recharge them fast, which is why I got 3,000 of them. Obviously, it's not going to be enough to make all my characters go to red rank, which is what I'm trying to do, but it's something so that I don't have to kill myself over and over trying to get. So just remember that you guys can always go to the shop and you can always buy these. Now, of course, you have to use Ryo for them again, but Ryo is like the best way to get, well, you know, most of the stuff that I'm getting. Right here, I would usually go to the general shop. Right here, you can use money to get these. Right now, personally, what I'm doing is I'm buying the orange, the regular oranges. I'm buying everything else below it. So like, you know, all the blues, all the purples and stuff like that. But I'm not buying these right here, like +1s and +2s. I'm not buying those. That's just the way I'm doing it. So that way I don't have to waste as much money. Ryo. So if you guys don't want to, it's perfectly fine, but that's what I do. Also remember that the clan shop has the same deal. Right here you can also get the same thing. So if you don't want to waste it and you feel like you could waste it on here, you could always do like this, see? And then just buy it here. So that way the +1s are there. But always remember to buy Mind Awake pills because they're very, very rare. Another thing that people are having, that people would have trouble with, I should say, are the EXP. Now, obviously, the Great Shinobi cat would give you, obviously, most of them. And I would say, obviously, get as high as you can so that way you can do the last rank of almost everything. Now, I can't, but Ryo and EXP are at the last level, and those are the two that I focus on the most, so that way I can always level up my characters when needed. So, you know, right here it's like I have to get to level 95, but again, I'm not in a big rush because it's only a clone challenge. It's not really that big. I'll get there eventually. But the best way I can say about going about this, what I do is I do that, and I do the Great Shinobi battles and stuff. And here's another thing I figured out. Depending on what level you're farming these shards at, give you a higher success of something. So let me show you what I mean. If I was to go to, let's say, Naruto, right? 4 Tails. And I was to go here, and I farmed for 10, right? Now, if I hit 10 and I rush through this really quickly, which the game doesn't seem to be doing right now because it hates me. Come on, game, please. It's going to give me, right here, it's going to give me extra large 10 of them, right? So depending on which ones you do, they actually give you higher or lower. I'm not sure if they do it with this one. Let me check. But they usually give you higher or lower depending on which ones you're farming. If you're farming blues, it's actually going to give you less of it, the rare ones, because the rare ones are on higher levels. So see, as you can see here, since I'm farming for +3s now, I did the same thing, +10, and it's given me 20 of the extra large ones and actually 10 of the large EXPs, which would benefit you in farming the highest one possible, which is why I always say this. When farming, you have to be careful on where you use your resources. If you have a team of 6 people and they can be leveled up, do not worry about other people in your squad and your entire roster. Like, you just have to worry on the 6 people that you have on your team. Do not, like me, I'm not worrying about Naruto Four Tails, not worrying about young Kakashi, not worried about Jiraiya. I'm not worried about anyone but the main people right now in my team. The higher your people are, the more resources you can get for farming them. So if I was to go to Tsunade, and I got all the ones that I need, but if I was to hit 50 on this one, it would give me a lot of EXP, and I can always use those EXP to farm it up. Now, even if you're doing it for low level characters and you want to farm EXP for them, it's still better to do the highest one and then buy the other pieces of the other shards, so that way you always have backups and you can always level your people up extremely fast. So here you can say, see, I did 50, it gave me 50 of these regular ones, of the large ones, and then the extra large, it gave me 100 of them. So that's the best way to do it into getting EXP fast. You know, that's the best way I can see that you would get EXP fast. Another way that I usually get EXP is, again, I can't stress to you guys enough, be careful when you use your resources. Over here in the X server battle, if I go to the shop, do not use it on Jiraiya because he's a potential 16 unless you really need him for fates. Do not use it on Kakazu unless you need him for a fate, and do not use it on Kiba because they're not worth you using your precious ore. Okay, your ores are also used for this. This is it right here. These two things, the gold, the X debris, because the X debris are very valuable, talent points, and shaman. Okay, those are the only things that I would ever say you should use your ore on. It's the only thing I ever use my ore on. I'm never going to use it on anything else. The only time I would ever use it on Jiraiya would be if I need his pieces to get an 8-gate seal. I cannot stress to you guys enough not to use your resources on characters that don't need it. If you don't have Suigetsu in your team, do not use Suigetsu. Do not level up, Suigetsu and have him there as a backup. Don't use resources on people that are not in your team. And now we get to the other side of things. The other stuff that you get that people don't even think about. Talent points. Now, talent points are, again, an ore thing. You can always buy talent points. There's not really an easy way to go about it. Now, talent points will be added into the X server Ninja King whenever it does come, because if you do go here, you can actually buy talent points. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it because there are other things that you could get here, but just as an example, it is there in case you have leftovers. So you can always get talent points there, and they are very important. It's just very hard to get them. Team Spirit is very valuable, but again, there's not much you can do about it. Now, there are some events that come up with their tools, and you can actually buy some of their tools through events, which if you're going to use them a lot, and have them in your main team, it is worth getting. Now it is going to cost you a lot of gold, so I would recommend you probably have some gold stacked up in order to do that. But just so you know, Team Spirit is very valuable. It controls your team speed, and your team speed, usually you want to go first because that will give you the greatest advantage during the battle. Shamanism. Now, Shamanism is very valuable also. Shamanism is basically stats that are given to all your characters at once. Now, all these I usually focus on mainly getting the percentages up all the way. Now, if the percentages are up all the way, then I'll focus on these other stats. But for the main part, I want to make sure the percentages are up because percentages are always higher than base numbers. That's why I'm getting them up. Now, I haven't gotten all of them because I still need to get this one. In order to unlock it, I have to get 8 people to +4 orange ninja. Okay. ninjas. So I'm waiting for everyone to get as high as I can, because again, I don't want to reuse resources on Naruto Four Tails, because he will be the next one I level up, but I do want to use resources on him if he's not on my main team. Now, Sculpture Mountain. I do want to say this because Sculpture Mountain is a little skeptical for some people, but let me explain to you how this works. Now, Sculpture Mountain is very valuable actually in the team. These usually bring up the stats of your people if you have them. Now, if you have the character, you can always go for gold. It's not recommended, but you do want to at least buy these two for each character. All of them, because they actually bring up stats on all of your characters. Now, now even if they're not in your main squad, you should still do it, because all of them still bring up stats on all of your characters, not just the character that's mentioned here. I'm not sure why it's never mentioned altogether, but as you can see right here, the total value, it's all at the same number except for some of them, which will be higher because I'm sorry, not this one, I meant this one right here, total value, and some of them will be higher just because I wasted gold on some of them to get them higher to get them as high as possible. But please, I cannot stress you enough, please buy at least the first ones. It's going to cost a lot of Ryo, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it is definitely worth it. In the other game that I was playing, I was always a low level and I could never understood why, and I never bought the sculptures for everyone, even the people that I didn't use. So I can't stress to you enough, guys, please get these sculptures. Again, it's going to cost a lot of Ryo, I'm not kidding, but it's definitely worth it. The next one is the Mudra. Now, Mudra is kind of simple. What I do is when I draw hand seals, every day I do all of these. All of these right here, I do them because they give you hand seals that you can always break. Now, you always want to break all the hand seals that you have, at least the lower rank ones. Now, for me, I'm trying to get everything orange. So if I have all my characters with orange, I break even the purples and below, because the purples still give you quite a few. But if you're using purple, do not break the purple. Only break the ones below that. I would recommend breaking blue and below, because I don't feel like anything below that even really helps. But it is the choice is entirely up to you. Whether you want the resources or not, I would break everything below that. Now, you should always put mudras on characters, even if they're not in your main roster, because even base mudras still give quite a few points on certain characters. So if you're using them in Ninja King, you're using them in Clan War, they do give quite a lot, and you can get much benefit from them. Right here, I'm just showing you how much you can actually get. I even do this, and again, it's a lot of Ryo, and I understand that Ryo sometimes is hard to get, but it's hard to come by. But you can always get Ryo from events. Like I said, the events usually give you a lot of Ryo, but remember, they pick the right events. Now, like I'm done doing that, if you go over here, see, most of mine have a red, orange, and there's a few of them that have purple, but it's usually just one purple, which I'm okay with. I'm not trying to break everything just for I'm not trying to break their entire formation just for one thing. I'll worry about that later, but right now I can show you that obviously everything is mainly orange and red. Now, if I go to decompose and I hit quick select, I will hit all of them, and it usually gives me about 9,000, which is great. So every day I get about 9,000 of this, so I can always level these up, which I've said before, these are important. So just make sure that you got the right, bonus here on them, on the ones that you use at least, and then remember to always level them up. A-team, now A-team is fairly simple. I don't think I have to really say this, but the way you get is from through the seal of the Nine Tails. Now, the seal of the Nine Tails gives you it every day for doing it, and they have it 2 times a day. I mean, there's very simple things to do on there. I have a crap ton of this stuff, but look, attack it 1 time, attack it 3 times, attack it 5 times. Like, it's very easy. Do this much damage, do this much damage. These are very, very easy things to do. I would not recommend you guys refresh here. Trust me. The way I look at it is that the player ranking here, if you use 10 gold to try and get in first, if you don't get first, you've already wasted 10 gold. It's only a 10 gold difference here, guys. Like 10 gold difference. Please do not spend gold here to do this. It's just a waste of it. You know, if I spent 10 gold to get from second place to first place, I didn't gain anything. I still used 10 gold to get 200, which means I still got 190 technically. So it's not really worth it to do that unless you really care about 1,000 of this and 50k gold. It's really and one of these things. Trust me, it's not worth it. You're better off just getting the rank you're getting without spending gold. Please don't spend gold here. It's not worth it. It's really not. Of course, last striking in this and surprise reward is given. It's just a surprise. You don't really know who gets it. They just get it to get it. So, but guys, A-Team is probably one of the simplest things to get. I'm gonna go here and show you. Actually, look at this. This is how much A-Team I really have. These are fairly easy to get. Like I said, you're not gonna be using A-Team super bad because it is very expensive. If I go over here and I look at the A-Team, it's going to show you what you need, and again, I have most of them at 17 or 16, so that way they can at least benefit. Now, I'm not saying it's not important because it is actually very important. The A-Team is very important because it gives the stats of this ninja, of a percentage of it, to all of your ninjas, all of them. So they all get a boost from it. But I am gonna say that it is quite expensive to waste this much Ryo with 3 Awakening Stones and 5 X Debris with, well, this is crap. But if you're using this all together to level up, it's very expensive. It gets very expensive. I'm not gonna kid you guys, it's very expensive. So just remember that when you're using this, it's always good to do it, but it's always good to do it in moderation. I would, say you do it maybe once every month, level up maybe once every month, or every 2 weeks, something like that. But remember that X Debris are very hard to come by, so don't just waste those willy-nilly. Ninja Tools. Now with Ninja Tools, I don't really have a good weight requirement, because mainly Ninja Tools are from a score match. Now I don't really know how to get it otherwise. The Ninja Tools, I know they have events for it, but they're usually not for they're usually not for potential 17s other than the score match. Now, Ninja Tools are probably the most important thing in the game because Ninja Tools give insane stats. They give the craziest stats on mostly everything. Now, here you can see these all alone give crazy numbers, and these numbers boost your ninja from a garbage to a pretty broken state. Now, alone you can get maybe 100k battle power from Ninja Tools alone, and they give insane stats such as crit hit damage bonus, 20%, and secret jutsu damage by 20. These are all things that it can give you and can make your characters fairly broken. Now, to get the resources for these, to be honest, these two don't seem to be the bad part. Actually, it's the beginning one that I'm having trouble with. I run out of these a lot. I'm not really sure why, but it seems like the lowest one is usually the one I run out of. Also, there is one thing I run out of, and they're called Ninja Tool Essence. Now, Ninja Tool Essence are also very rare. They're probably the rarest thing when leveling up weapons, but they're very hard to get. You get them from breaking other weapons, but if you have spare weapons, again, it's going to be a long time before you break any, because even on people like Naruto Four Tails, he doesn't have anything great, but I still keep these purple ones because, again, they give him a lot of stats. Even on people that I don't like, such as even people that are low level that I don't like Shitsui, I put it on because, again,
every stat helps, except for young Kakashi. Screw that guy. So yeah, guys, I hope this was I hope this helped. I hope I touched on everything. I tried to get you guys as much information as possible and how I farm things. Again, guys, it's not really an easy way to get gold, and I know everyone was probably going to ask that, but there's not an easy way to do it. You always have to spend some bang for your buck, and that's the way they make an income for this game, or we wouldn't have the game. They would just shut down. So the best thing I can say, again, guys, is just recharge rebate. Always do it when it's a recharge rebate, and it'll get you more bang for your buck, so that way you're not hurting with gold. The last thing I can tell you guys is 8 Gate Seal. Now, 8 Gate Seal is, they're very hard. I'm not gonna lie. To get your 8 Gate Seal up, it's gonna be a pretty hard challenge. Most of them, like this one right here, these things are very hard to come by, which is why I tell you all the time to go to the shop and buy them. But if you don't want to do that, you can always do this. Now, if you have spares of EXP, it will let you hit the EXP so that you can level these up. Again, I would only recommend it if you guys have your characters maxed, because again, your main team always comes first. But if you do have spares, you can always do that, and it'll let you use these in order to level them up. I wouldn't recommend you use any of your other resources, because these are used for leveling up ninjas. The only time I could say that you could use it is maybe the low level ones, like the blues, because the blues aren't really so serious to get. And from farming high level, advanced pieces, they actually give you low level ones. So if right now, since I'm farming for +3s, it'll actually give me +1 purples. So I still get some kind of benefit back for doing high level ones. But like I said, there's not really an easy way to come about these Wake Mind pills. You just like I said, just buy them in the store. That's the best thing you could do, because they are very important. But there you go, guys. I hope I touched on every subject. If you guys ever want me to talk about something or talk more about something, I can always try and help you guys. Oh god, I almost forgot one important thing too, guys. Now, when you guys use gold in events, please understand this. You do not need first place in every event to get the best things, okay? Let me explain what I mean. Limited Ninja right here. Now, you always want to get a potential 17 in certain cases. Like if you want a potential 17 and you feel that they will be good in your team, that is fine. But make sure you read this. These are the scores. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. People in our server have messed up a long time from doing this, and DBZuka was one of them. He would spend his entire thing just to get rank 1, which is not worth it, guys. You're going to use a lot to get 10,000 points, 20k gold, and 300 shards with 5 awaken is not worth it. I can't stress you guys enough the math of this, that it is not worth it. And I can't stress this enough guys, that it would not be worth it, especially for young Itachi. He is bad. Don't do it. Now again, you want to get the minimum amount of things, the minimum amount of golds used for things, and still get what you want from an event. There always has to be something you're getting from an event. So let's say I did want young Itachi. You should not want young Itachi. But if I did want young Itachi, the best thing I could do would be to get 6 right here. So if I wanted to, right, because I would have to get like if I wanted to get, like, let's say the minimum amount, I would have to do 3,500, and it would get me through 7 to 10. Well, I mean, they raised it from there. But if I wanted to get it, let's say I wanted to get him right off the bat and I didn't have any shards of him, you could always get 4 to 6 is what I do. It'll give you get shards here, you get 5 here, you get 5 right here, you get 10 here, so that's 20, You get 15 here, which is 25, or 35, I'm sorry. And then you'll get right here another, which is, that'll be, what, so 55 shards. And you'll get, well, I would go through this one right here. But if you get force through 6, you'll usually get him is what you're hoping for. Now, again, I would not get him, but if you wanted to get the lowest amount of things and get them, this would be the way to do it. Again, limited ninja isn't the best way to get ninjas. I feel like lucky treasure is a little better. You could get better stuff from the lucky treasure, but it's entirely up to you guys. So when doing these events, just be smart. In the score match, if it says that you can get, Tsunai's weapon from 1 through 10, don't go for the number 1 spot. Just worry about getting top 10. You don't have to use as much as you think you do in order to get it. You can always save your gold resources, and you don't have to go gunning it for the top thing, because you're going to waste all your gold. You can't do the fortune gift then, and then it's going to be hard for you to push up. Always have gold on spare, so that way you can always do an event and you won't have to break your pockets in order to try and keep up with everyone. Just do the minimum requirements for things while still getting the top, ranking and things, and that way you can always get things that you need and always have resources in a backup. Alright guys, well, I talked about basically everything I think I could. I hope this was informative. I really hope that you guys will be able to farm resources correctly now and get the resources that you guys need. And remember guys, just be smart with your resources. Just use it on the ninjas you really need to help. Use it on the ninjas that you really want to level up. I hope that this helped you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.